Guys, welcome back to sunny Florida. Look behind me here. It is beautiful outside, but those looks are deceiving. It is very cold, 50 degrees in Florida right now. And today we have a tour of my new all-home audio system. The whole home audio covers everything. Hang out with us on Supercar Street Racing. Welcome back to Supercar Street Racing. Brad here, and right behind me is my whole home audio system. Today we're taking a tour of the house. We're going to show you how that works in the entire house today, and it is all going to be brought to you by Juke, who was kind enough to give us a small discount on something for this whole home audio system, and hoping we get to work with them in the future with the Juke Plus, which is their other model. This is the 8-zone Juke whole home amplifier, and we have that today to look at, and my whole house on the channel. We're gonna go through everything. I'm gonna show you all the speakers, talk about the brands, talk about this whole home audio system that is done and complete, and we're gonna go over all that right now, so hang out with us again today on Supercar Street Racing. We're back in the Supercar Street Racing Humble compound today, and today's video is sponsored by Juke Audio. I promised them I would talk their brand up today, and we are going to do just that, because I have been enjoying this Juke Audio amplifier that we've had now for a couple of weeks. Now right here in front of me is the Juke 6 and 8. It is their base model. The Juke Plus is a little bit higher model. This thing is awesome though. It has 8 zones. You buy it with 6, you can upgrade it to 8 with just an email and a few dollars. They will upgrade it remotely for you. This has 6 and 8 powered zones depending on how much you spend. It does have 40 watts per speaker per channel. Do not let that confuse you. That is not a small amount of power for these in-home audio speakers. That is plenty of power, at least for what I have, and I'm not running a sub or anything with the power out of the Juke. It is app controlled. It has a smart app we'll be showing you guys a little bit later in the video. Now this thing supports analog inputs, USB input, Airplay, Spotify Connect, DLNA, and Bluetooth. So that covers pretty much everything you'll need, because you can do almost everything with a tablet nowadays, and you can just Bluetooth right to this guy right here. Now let's go ahead and show you this guy getting unboxed, and then start the tour of our whole home audio system. We have been dealing with crappy whole home audio for years, but today we have a solution for that. We have finally spent the money to get a proper whole home audio system. Now this Juke audio amplifier is a whole home smart system. We're gonna get this unboxed here on SCSR and see what's in the box and how it works. Let's go, dog. Guys, today we have the Juke audio whole home audio amplifier here. It is a smart amplifier for your house. 6 zones, smart, does everything you need to amplify your entire house. And they have one above this called the Juke Plus. I did not buy that. It is about $1,000 more. I probably could have just done that for $2,400. I got this for, I think, $1,400. So today we're gonna get this thing unboxed and see what's inside. Get it hooked up, get the app going, and see what that's all about, because we are redoing the whole home audio system in the closet, and this is an integral part of redoing everything on Supercar Street Racing. Patented SCSR knife is here opening up the box. We need to get this thing open right now and see what's inside, because I'm hyped, guys. Juke Audio, so made simple right in front of us. The whole home audio amplifier is 6 zones, smart, capable amplifier. And inside of the box, with the presentation level being elite, this Juke audio package right here. Don't know what it is, but let's get it out of there. I like it. SCSR knife is patented. Do not try to make one like this, because it actually came from IKEA. Inside of the Juke audio box, looks like some rack mount ears here, which we're not using. These look like rack mounts. A standard, maybe 2 or 3 pin power cable, some breakouts for the speakers, and also a Cat 5 cable, Cat 6 cable, and a Sound Made Simple diagram here, it does do Wi-Fi or Ethernet, and there's a start there. I already got the Juke app downloaded, but that is a good look at what's inside of the box before we get to the meat and potatoes. The Juke is so fly with the charcoal padding inside. Let's get that out. All right, now Juke did say that the optimal connection is Ethernet, which we will be using. There are 4 breakaway boxes in the back here for speakers. Literally nothing on the front here. It just says Juke Audio. No lights or anything. And then also in the back right here, there's 2 USB ports. If you want to do analog audio, you have to connect to these USB ports with an adapter that I will put in the description. It is a USB to audio adapter. I ordered that. It will be here tomorrow. They give you an Ethernet cable right here. We don't need that where we're going. We have an Ethernet cable. We're going to put this into the SCSR closet, power it up, see if we can update the firmware and all that, and then see if we can interface with this guy, the Juke Audio on Supercar Street Racing. Let's get it in the closet. Guys, we're starting the tour right in front of the Juke here, and we're going to outline everything that is in this new audio closet for the whole home audio system. Now, you're gonna have to go back to my videos. There's a 6-part video of my whole home audio refurbishing. I started with a closet full of clothes and racks, and I did everything to bring this guy up to modern standards. And I've always wanted to do an app that controlled each room with volume in each room, and this Juke Audio 8-zone amp does fit the bill. It does great on that process. Now at the very top here, this is the box for the Juke Audio. You guys just did see me unbox this. This thing is so cool. It comes with rack mount ears here. I did not use them. Let's get this box out of here. Now starting on the top here on my whole home audio tour, there was a hole in the wall right up here where the wires were coming out because the old setup had a amp up high on a shelf, like a wire shelf. I did get rid of that wire shelf, and I closed up the hole right there as well, you can see. And then right over here, we had a wall plate with RCA jacks that fed subwoofer preamp output to the whole entire house. And then up here, we did add an outlet where we have some power going into the bathroom. This is a good future expansion if we ever need power up high. Let's say we want to add another shelf right here. We have the capability to have power right next to it here on the back. Now moving down in the closet, we have our WIM here. This is our WIM streaming audio player. There is a dedicated video up with this, so I'm not going to get into too much detail about this, but this actually can do everything streaming wise that even the Juke does not do. It can do a lot of cool things like internet radio and things like that, Spotify, Pandora, you name it, this guy does it. It does have subwoofer outputs as well, which is awesome. It's very high quality. It does accept optical ins and outs. It has RCA level ins and outs, and it has coax ins and outs as well. So this is the WIM streamer. Go see my video on the WIM if you want a more detailed explanation about this guy. And that's what we are using right now for currently streaming to the whole house. Now below that, the sponsor of the video, this is the Juke Audio. This is the 6 and 8 zone amplifier. We currently are using 8 zones. And on the back of the Juke, it is just literally a bunch of green plugs with screws in them, and that is how we got our audio back to the entire house. That is what powers the speakers, is the Juke whole home amplifier. And then back on this side, there is a USB adapter that goes from USB to analog audio, and that is what we are using from the WIM to feed the Juke all of the audio that it then transmits throughout the house. We'll show you that on the app a little bit later in the video. Now on top of my Juke here is the remote for the WIM, and then this remote here is for the LEDs that came with the shelf, which are right under there. Nothing special, they just do cycling between colors or flashing. Think it's pretty cool. I just have it on cycling right now. All right, right below that on the shelf, some important things for the whole home audio system. We've got our Ubiquiti Flex 2.5 gig switch right there, which is providing Ethernet to both the Juke and the WIM there. We've got our dot right here that is providing smart home. If we want to use that, we can. We don't necessarily have to, but we can feed that to the analog input on the WIM. Next to that is a 4-port RCA splitter that is taking the output of this Behringer ultra bass processor and feeding it to both the sub down here and to the house via some wall plates, which we will show you momentarily. Underneath that, we have our Panamax MR4300. This is a power conditioner surge suppressor for the whole system, and it does keep the voltage steady and also suppresses any lightning or anything like that if we have surges in the power. All right, right below that on the very bottom, we have our PSW10. This is a Polk audio subwoofer that I actually got off of Marketplace. The screws are a little rusted. I never touched those up with black. I'll probably have to go back and touch those up to make it look better. But what you can't see behind that, you'll have to go back to my video, is we have wall plates back there for sub. We have wall plates for Ethernet, and we do have power right behind this sub right here. And that was all put in my video, so please refer to my whole home audio closet refurbished video. There will be links for all this in the description. Okay, that is gonna round out the tour of the theater closet. Let's go into the next room here, which is the home theater. Okay, we are in the SCSR home theater room right now, and there is nothing related to the whole home audio system in here except one thing. There is a wall plate behind the home theater right there that feeds this closet right here. So if we want to, we can feed audio in either direction here, from here to the home theater closet or vice versa, in case we want to feed this audio to the house or the audio in there to in here. Other than that, this room is a 4K home theater system. I built the screen myself. There are videos about that as well. It is using the Cosmos Max 4K laser projector, and it has a Marantz Cinema 50 receiver. Other than that, this has nothing to do with the whole home audio system, so let's go ahead and move on to the next room. The next stop here is a familiar one if you watched all my videos on my bathroom remodel. This is my guest bathroom here, and it does have two 6.5-inch Mica in-ceiling speakers, which are fed from our Juke whole home audio amplifier. There's not much to say about this room. I always wanted to put audio in here. I finally was able to do so when I remodeled the bathroom, and I did seal this audio zone from my bedroom because my bedroom is no longer connected to the whole home audio. It has its own audio independent system in there. So we did not need to have that zone. Since we only have 8, that precludes us from putting another zone into the bedroom, and it's pretty unnecessary as we have a nice 7.1 audio system now in the bedroom with Dolby Atmos and everything like that. So this is the guest bathroom, guys. Guys, welcome to the forum. I like to call it the forum because this is where all the magic happens. No, it's pretty dead most of the time, but this is the Supercar Street Racing bedroom, and you can see it is nice and sunny outside. And inside the bedroom, this is not connected to the whole home audio system. It used to have that speaker and that speaker connected. Those are disconnected, except this middle one here is now feeding center channel from our Marantz receiver right here. So we do have front, left, and right. We're using the speakers from the old theater. So we have left, right. These are Atmos. So the left and the right up top are height for Atmos. That's the center. And then we do have our surrounds back there. Nothing else of interest in this room ever happened, so we won't spend too much time on it. There is also a Polk PSW10 there in the corner as well. One of my favorite subs of all time. And in here you also see the Cinema 70S. I do have 2 of these guys, one in the living room and one in here, providing the audio output. And that's gonna wrap it up for the bedroom tour. We're back in the beautiful SCSR sunroom, and I wanted to briefly show you guys what was in here. I have a whole project plan for the sunroom to get this TV up and in the air and some surround in here. But for now, the only thing we have to worry about in this sunroom is these in-ceiling speakers that have been here for a minute. 2 6.5-inch in-ceiling speakers. They're supposed to be 8s, but in reality they're 6.5s. And those are fed by one of the zones in the amplifier closet over there from our Juke amplifier. Nothing else to worry about in here. Eventually I would like to get that TV up in the air there just like that and put some 5.1 surround in here. But that is a pretty large project that's gonna take me a lot of time and running wiring and stuff like that. So for now, that's all we have right here. All right, pay no attention to that huge bird over there and this beautiful pool. But out here in the SCSR backyard, we do have two nice speakers up here. Those are also Polk Audio, and they are the upgraded ones. I will put the model number right here on the screen for you. We have our 4K TV out here, and we also have these speakers fed by the internal system. This is on its own zone. However, that speaker over there is not working, and I don't know what has happened to our wiring, but it is not getting audio from inside the house. It appears to still be connected, but not 100% sure. I have to get in there and check and see why. Maybe there is a short between that and the Juke or something like that. But this all comes from inside the attic, and I thought it was connected when I checked. I'll have to get up there and try to figure it out sometime. But yeah, this is the outside. I plan on actually putting another amplifier out here, back up here to power these outdoor speakers, because I don't really need to use the indoor stuff. I just want to get audio from this TV onto these speakers, and right now I can't even do that. So that's going to wrap it up from outside in the SCSR backyard. We are in the Supercar Street Racing compound kitchen right now, where you can see we have all these beautiful Samsung appliances just chilling. We have the nice Samsung stove, which we can wake up right here. Yes, it did come on. We have this nice Samsung microwave. We have our Samsung dishwasher and our Samsung internet fridge. Here we are in front of our internet fridge with the Supercar Street Racing channel up, and that is going to go ahead and play right here and be loud. All right, go ahead and pause that. So in this room, we do have two 6.5-inch in-ceiling speakers right here. They're actually 8s. They're marketed as 8s, but they actually come down to 6.5, which is annoying. So those are fed by one of our zones on the Juke, and then down here we have a amplified subwoofer here, which is fed from the outputs of these speakers. So there is wiring running up. There is a project for that on my channel if you guys are interested. And that is pretty much it. We do also have an Echo device in here if we want to do anything smart-wise. Supercar Street Racing living room is looking fresh today, and we are in here with Brad. And in the living room, we have a bunch of speakers in here actually. We have the center ones up here, which are fed by the whole home audio Juke in the closet right there. These other ones in the back are for surround, for the Dolby Atmos system up here, which is not quite Atmos yet, but it will be. We have a Cinema 70S, a center channel, front, left, and right. We are about to add front, left, and right there and move Dolby Atmos up to these height speakers. It has its own Ultra Bass Pro as well, and also our DMark for our fiber and our Eero 7. I am going to be redoing all of this wiring back here again when I do the speakers. I'm going to do front, left, right here in the wall. We do have a Polk subwoofer right here, and we do have my Cerwin Vega CLS 15 right here. So we have two subs in here, and that is pretty much everything in the living room related to audio. We're back here in the Supercar Street Racing office slash guest bedroom, and in here we have two 6.5, they're really 8s again, in-ceiling speakers being fed by the Juke whole home audio system. And then also we have this nice PSW10, another Polk audio subwoofer, which adds some bass fill to this room. There's not a whole lot to be said about this room, basically the same thing. This is a zone from our whole home audio system right up there in the ceiling. And this room actually sounds pretty good with the sub going, and you would love the way this sounds. And then of course we have Studio B right here for Supercar Street Racing. This is where we edit when we're not out in the studio, and then a beautiful view of cold Florida right outside the window. What a nice view to work with here in the Supercar Street Racing office and guest bedroom. When you're in the office here, you do have a nice bathroom here. This is actually the master bedroom, by the way. And when we walk into this bathroom, you notice immediately we have a 6.5-inch in-ceiling speaker right there, which is also fed a zone from our amplifier in there. And if we walk into the shower stall in here, we also have a 6.5 in here. Now these guys are set up in stereo, so this is left and this is right, or vice versa. I don't know exactly which one, but this gives you nice audio when you are in the shower here and entertains you while you are getting clean. And then in the Supercar Street Racing humble closet in here, we have two 10-inch subwoofers here. We have two subwoofers powered by internal amplifiers but the wiring comes down from the speakers in here to feed audio to that. I have a project for that on the channel, and it took me about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours total to do it, but we have our JBL sub here, and then we have our Sony sub here. Both have built-in amplifiers they are using, so they're not getting line in, they're getting speaker level input from the speakers up here. And that wraps up the master bathroom, or the office bathroom. Let's go out to the Supercar Street Racing garage now. Now out here in the garage is kind of a special case for whole home audio, as these are fed a zone, but it has its own sub and amplifier up here on the top shelf. We have the Onkyo receiver up there, and we have a JBL sub up there feeding these two 8-inch in-ceiling speakers right here. So you can actually use this television here, and we are now powering up the TV. Now we just did power up the TV, and that is feeding the audio up here on the 6.5-inch speakers, and also feeding the sub up there. And you can see we got Supercar Street Racing on TV right here. So you can also feed this and the patio, which is right outside that door we will show you next, with the whole home audio system. So this is on its own zone as well, and allows you to either use this TV here or the interior audio system for feeding the garage of Supercar Street Racing. Now our last step on the tour is actually the patio. We have Polk Audio outdoor speakers fired up by one of the zones. And you can see right here the Polk Audio speakers sitting so fresh above the patio right here. And they provide audio out here if you want to relax, chill, have a glass of wine with the neighbors. You can put the audio on from one of the zones, and that is the same zone as the garage. All right, guys, we are directly in front of the Juke Audio app, and you can see right here on the screen all 8 zones that I have set up. And you can see here master bathroom, master bedroom, kitchen, pool, guest bathroom, living room, patio, and sunroom. All of the zones are active except the patio and the pool, and that is how I run it most of the time. Now, when you go to settings, you do have to put an admin password in. You guys can't see this. Okay, in this part of the Juke setup, you can set your network up right here. You can see we are connected via Ethernet, and you can see our local IP address right there, 192.168.0.172. You can go ahead and do diagnostics of your whole system. You can do zone diagnostics, upload your logs to Juke so they can check it out, or do live troubleshooting so they can actually log on to the device and see what kind of problems they see live, which is pretty cool. And here is the information for the device, and you can check for firmware updates. This one is fully updated right now. You can change your admin password, clear your cache, log out, and contact Juke support on this page. Now here's your inputs. This is where you are telling the device which inputs you want to use, and then you choose which input you want to go out to all the devices after that. This is where you set up the desired zones that you want this group to go to. So right now we have analog. You can see it at the top left there, going to everything except pool and patio, because we're not using those at all right now. And here on the top page, you have a volume control, which allows you to control all of the zones independently, and you can see how I have mine set up here. Sometimes some rooms might respond a little bit differently to volume than other rooms, so this allows you some fine tuning to each room. And then if we go into one zone like master bathroom, you have a little icon you can set up for it, which is cool. You can see the little shower icon, and then you can also adjust the volume here, and it shows you the active input is the analog input for the master bedroom. And if we look at bedroom here, it has a little fireplace by it, which is pretty cool. And then you can also adjust the volume here independently on that one as well. And you can do that with all of the zones. And you can see here patio and pool are not active right now. I don't use them most of the time, so I just left them off for now. So when you're using your group inputs, you have to tell it which ones are enabled or disabled. Right now, I only have the analog input enabled. All right, so that is gonna do it with a look from the app of the Juke Audio. Pretty cool, has a lot of different controls available. If you need more than that, go to the Juke Plus, where you have individual EQs for everything. You have a subwoofer output, and you have native analog inputs. It costs about $1,000 more, but if you need it, then you just need it. So go ahead and grab it from the description below, and let's wrap it up with Brad. All right guys, so that wraps up the whole home audio tour with the Juke amplifier there, the whole home audio amplifier feeding 8 zones of audio into the entire house. If you have questions about anything in my house or you need assistance, just let me know. And that's gonna do it for today. We're gonna wrap it up, but we're gonna show you the Juke audio amplifier on Amazon real quick as well. Back in the Supercar Street Racing office, and behind me is Studio B for the SCSR compound. And today we are taking a look at the Juke amplifier online. And right in front of me right here, you can see the Juke amplifier chilling so fresh and fly with a solid 4.4 star review. This guy is $1,499. And I love this thing. It has so many cool features. It is smart. It does smart home. Every separate room has its own volume control, which is awesome. And you can also turn individual rooms off and on as well. And Juke Audio was so kind to work with us on this and gave us a little discount on the upgrade from a 6 to an 8 zone. Now you can get this 6 zone for $14.99, or you can get the 8 zone for $300 more. But if we go to their other amplifier, the Juke Plus, that one costs a little bit more, but it does give you more power. It does have native audio inputs that are analog and a few other things that are more desirable than this. So if you want to spend a little bit more, go ahead and get the Juke Plus. Now here's a look at both of these guys on the website. So the Juke 6 and 8 is $14.99. The Juke Plus is $24.99. Now it is limited to 6 zones. So if that is an issue for you, you might want to stick with the 6 and 8. But the cool thing about the Juke Plus is it has subwoofer outputs as well and 100 watts per channel. Does also long range Bluetooth streaming, so a little bit better Bluetooth connectivity. It does also have an equalizer for every zone. And like I said before, it has analog inputs as well, which is helpful for some people if that's on your need list. Go ahead and check that out. Looks like it also has a Wi-Fi antenna right there. They may have upgraded the Wi-Fi system. I don't really see much about that. But looking at the Juke 6 and 8 right here, has 14 reviews, all 5-star reviews. And there's the 8 zone right there, $16.99. $14.99, so $200 more if you buy it directly from here, and you do get the 8 zone. And then you can see right here amplifying every room, and of course it does support multiple users as well. You can have multiple people log on and control their environment. And there's the back I showed you guys a little bit earlier, up to 16 channels. It has an Ethernet port and it has 2 USB connections that when coupled with an adapter, which does not come with it, you can actually do analog. It is 2 rack units tall. So go ahead and check out the Juke, and thanks again for supporting Supercar Street Racing. You guys are an integral part of the channel, and please like and subscribe. It helps us so much with the algorithms. It helps keep our videos up at the top and shows people that we do have support from our fans. So go ahead, like and subscribe, buy all of your products, anything from Amazon you want. Click on any of our links in the description and you can buy anything you want, and it gives us $1 or $2 here or there to keep the channel up and running. But we got to get out of here. We have to go to Cliffs.